First job for the new R1300GS is to get rid of this connected drive unit and replace it with my harness, which I have here. And this is an official Garmin power bracket for Zuma XT with a Moto pumps bracket on the back on an official BMW clamp and a Garmin power lead, and it leads into a Max BMW service cable, which is basically an accessory plug that plugs straight into the BMW harness. So let's get the OEM stuff off and let's get this on. All right, firstly, remove these 4 bolts from the screen with a T27 star drive. With the bolts removed, the screen just literally falls off. But I can see from my bracket, it's slightly longer than the one on GS. This is really for an MkII, so I think I'll be using the standard bracket. So to remove the 26 connected drive unit, we'll need to remove this cover first, and this is electric now, so we need to turn the bike on. And then under here is a little release lever. You press it down and you'll see at the top, you see that comes up, and it's hard to do one-handed. There we go. And it just pulls off. Then unbolt these 4 to remove the clamp, and of course snip the cables down the sides, and this little plug just pops out. Simple as that. So these are a T20, under all 4, and the clamp will come apart. These plastic winglets just pop off, literally. They're not held on with anything. So once you remove the screen, these just pop off. Next job is to remove these winglets. You need to undo this bolt and this bolt, and then you need to gently pull them forwards. And this is like an elbow shape, it's like an L shape inside. You pull it gently forwards and it will pop outwards. You have to be extremely careful undoing these because the housing they go into, it's very prone to, if you're a bit hand-fisted, the whole housing will come out with it. You can usually get it back in, but they don't always go 100% tight afterwards. So be very careful, only use tools by hand, no drills, and go gently. Maybe go a little bit like, you know, twice loosen, once tighten, twice loosen, once tighten, just to gently ease them out. So if you're lucky, they come out with everything intact. It looks almost like there's something missing from the front one there, but that's okay. You have that kind of coil internally, that's with the thread, that's what you want to stay on the bike. The rubber grommets are there. And then this, I'm not sure I can do this one-handed, I'll attempt it. But you just ease the whole thing forward and it pops out, because this is a little, focus, there you go. It's like a swan's neck basically, so it's in like that, you pull it to the front and it pops out. Next is to remove the GPS bracket itself with the T30 bar here. You'll need to remove this because we have to remove this radar housing in order to get the OEM wiring out and get the Garmin wiring in. Right, next thing we need to do is turn the bike on, because we need to raise this screen in order to have enough clearance to remove this radar housing. So we raise the screen over here. Okay, and then we pull this hands either side, put it towards you. It unreleases from 2 plastic poppers here, and then the whole thing should come off. Okay, and that's what it looks like with it removed. And here is the OEM service or accessory plug that we're going to disconnect along with the OEM wiring. And to do that, there's a little release. Again, I don't think I can do it one-handed, but basically you squeeze the bottom of this, and then the 2 should separate. All right, yeah, you press, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but yeah, you press the bottom of that and it just pivots, and then it will unreleased from this, and you need get a screwdriver up in the middle of that there, and there's a little tag. You push it away from you, and this will slide off here, and then you can remove the OEM wiring. All right, so what I decided to do was leave the BMW connected cable in situ actually, and also the plug here, which it would normally be powered by the bike's live, which is here. So the live would normally go in there to power the connected drive, and I've just bypassed that by putting it straight into the same BMW connector with pigtails, and this comes out, it goes around here, it goes in the back of the Garmin. So in theory, when power on the bike, we should have power. So let's see, power. Oh, I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. Good to go. So, my Garmin needs an update or a charge or something or other. I was thinking about it. It hasn't been run for a long time, so it should come up though. Yeah, just needed charging, haven't used it for forever. And good to go. And now when I turn this off and I lose power, this will wait a few seconds and then it will lose power after about a minute, basically. Yeah, I've got no power whatsoever in this thing. But it will stop using the bike's power, and the little like Z mark, which is being powered by, yeah, it's got a little bit more power now. The little charging light here, after a minute, will go out, and this will turn itself off. So I'm not going to wait a minute to show you that, but I will just turn my phone off. But rest assured, after 60 seconds, this will go to the battery, and the Garmin is designed to turn itself off. So this looks messy, but it isn't really. I've got the motor pumps bracket now on the OEM BMW bracket with the mount, and this is just the Garmin harness basically into the plug and play connector there. And I've put this bracket housing back on temporarily loosely because you can't put it on securely until you have the radar cover back on. But you've also got to work out the wiring, where you want the wiring to go before that. So I'm going to wire up these on the bracket itself so I know where I want the wiring, and then put the radar cover back on. All right, hopefully that looks a little bit neater than before. I've tied the BMW connector that goes into the BMW Live to the OEM housing that's not being used. The OEM wiring is behind this cluster of wires, and everything is nice and secure and solid, and should be enough room to get the radar housing back on, and then the side wings and the side clear wings and the black ones. And then once we've got the radar on, I can put this bracket back on, put wings on and the screen on, good to go. So really, that's kind of reverse of disassembly is the assembly. Now I did a similar video more comprehensively, probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that, on my first R1300GS. So look through Ride On, Richard.Dunn, Garmin Zumo, install R1300GS. If you search on that, you'll find it. It's got a lot of views, that video, and it's more detailed and comprehensive if you're struggling with this one. If you already know what you're doing to a large extent, you'll find this is easy enough. It just reaffirms what you're going to do. So good luck installing your GPS and getting rid of the connected drive, which doesn't suit my needs at $900. because mainly, you know, a great GPS does it for $500 or a CarPlay similarly for about $400. And the main problem I have with those type devices is their Wi-Fi, which means you can't run other apps at the same time. So when I want to run Waze to see where the cops are, for instance, I can't do that. And if you only go from point A to point B, you only need Waze anyway, in which case you only need your phone on a quad lock with anti-vibration mount, right? But if you want to go bespoke, tailored routes, then you don't want to be tied into using a connected app if you want to use Waze at the same time. So this way I can mount my phone on a quad lock and see Waze for hazards ahead, speed restrictions, that kind of thing. And I can still have tailored bespoke routes in GPX files created with my route apps and just airdrop to my phone, which just hot syncs with the Garmin XT perfectly. Don't buy an XT2, doesn't work so well, but the XT, super reliable. If you get one discounted, get it on your bike, you'll be a very happy boy. All right, sayonara.